This is the viral Walmart Nutcracker that is almost impossible to find. I searched for weeks, but finally scored not one, but two. I have a major love of nutcrackers, with antique bronze nutcrackers being my absolute favorite. And now I have the perfect canvas to create my very own 6-foot tall versions that will be perfect addition for my vintage nutcracker Christmas theme this year. These nutcrackers are really beautiful, but they do have a small flaw that has to be corrected before I can begin painting them. Common issue is that the teeth and then the waistline and legs, they don't always line up perfectly. But this is a simple fix. You just unscrew the collar and then adjust to the correct position. Then just twist the pieces back in place. For this project, I used 4 cans of matte black paint, 2 tubes of antique gold rub and buff, and a stencil brush to apply. With my nutcracker now in perfect alignment, I was ready to begin spraying them. I used a paint and primer in one, so I only needed 1 coat to create my base color. We were expecting storms to be moving into our area, so I was hoping I would be able to get these painted before the rain started, but the paint seemed to be drying quickly, so at least I would be able to move them inside if the weather took an unfortunate turn for the worst. Fortunately, there was a nice breeze that helped out with the drying time. Went the wrong direction. I should have gone that way.
Moment of truth.
Probably not going to be right still, but see, it doesn't make any sense. I moved it a ½ an inch and it shifted 4 inches. I guess because of the this circumference is wider than that one, so I guess technically that would make sense, but still, frustrating nonetheless.
Here we go. What do we think?
It's close. But sometimes it'll snap twice and sometimes it'll only snap once. And
I believe you, but I can't tell.
Yep, I had to move it like 1/3 of an inch. Hey, that one's perfect. So I guess the moral of the story here is to make small adjustments at a time, because the collar is a much smaller circumference than the outside circumference area. So every time you make a small adjustment, it makes a much larger adjustment on the outside circumference. I don't want to make a trip.
So close. There ain't much more. I almost bought 4, I really did, but I said, you know what? My wife knows what she's talking about. And if I do anything else, she'll be mad at me. So I only bought 3.
I would have been mad at you if you'd bought extra. I just did what I read online. It said that we only needed 1.5 cans per nutcracker. So I thought.
You can't believe everything you hear online?
Okay, so I got the back side of the arms done. I still need to do the back side of these arms. So I'm literally shy just enough paint to do the back side of these arms. So I'm gonna go make a Lowe's trip. Quick nighttime Lowe's trip. Came for paint, slight detour. Look at the nutcracker. I know I have 3 6-foot ones, but I mean, can you ever really have enough? I mean, I don't know. These guys over, stay there, stay there. It's the next morning, and while I was waiting for the weather to calm down outside, I started pulling out Christmas tubs. Many, many, many Christmas tubs, but you'll see more on that Friday when my Christmas Decorate With Me series starts. Now it's time to get to work. I have some touch-ups to do from my son swinging the arms back and forth before they were dry. There are a few other spots that I missed in the dark, so I'm just going to give those another spray, and then we can get started with the rub and buff. As long as we don't have any more tornadoes this morning, we ought to be in good shape, and as long as the rain doesn't continue to increase, I can continue working out here. Kind of like shading my cakes.
Even got your Merry Christmas shirt on.
Yeah, my jammies.
You didn't have to say that. You could pretend like it was a sweatshirt, because from the top.
This is a sweatshirt.
Down there, okay. But on the top, you could tell.
I have my sweatshirt on, yes, but I have my Christmas jammies on because, one, they match, and two, they're comfortable when I'm trying to decorate and climb up and down ladders and bend over and pick up tubs. And
your top shirt would have never let anybody know you were wearing pajamas.
That's okay. I already told them. When you weren't home yet.
Yeah, this woman does love her Christmas.
Yeah, I'm missing my Christmas music. I'll have to turn it back on when we get inside.
I'm surprised you haven't made a nutcracker cake before.
I am going to be doing a video.
Is that an idea that I just gave you?
No, I've been thinking about it.
Not cookie though, a cake.
No, a cake. So I have intentions of making a video that is like beginner, moderate, and advanced with separate and different levels. Like somebody who has never made anything before to someone who, you know, actually does this as a hobby or as a profession.
So imagine yourself walking in with some really cool nutcracker cake or pastry of some sort, and surprising everybody.
I think when people come to our house, they pretty much expect I'm going to have a cake, though. I always do.
Yeah, he is pretty.
Finally got a Fred and George twins. Yeah.
Hi.
My other one, I guess he's Percy. I don't know.
Percy?
Fred and George, the twins. And then my other Nutcracker, that's Percy.
Okay, I know who Fred and George are.
Percy, the prefect, one of the Weasley brothers.
Okay.
Oh, my arm is actually starting to hurt.
So it's not paint.
No, it's rub and buff. It's a wax. So just like with when I'm doing my cakes, this is very similar. You don't want it, well, initially you want quite a bit on your brush. You just have to get it back off. You don't want, if it's too little, then you're like pushing too hard to try and get it, and then you're going to get it in the grooves and not hitting like the high points that you want to hit. And you don't want too much because then you're going to get these big globs. So you kind of want somewhere in the middle, like basically just after you've dabbed it and got it on your brush, and then swirl it really good just to kind of get it in the bristles, but not necessarily like all completely on there. And if you can go against the grain anytime that you find high ridges, that's going to give you the best depth.
Ah, that was a close one. He almost lost his head.
Okay, well, there's an example of getting too much on your brush. I didn't mean to, but I had way too much on my brush when I hit right.
Don't take his head off. Whew. Poor guy. I think he was kind of scared.
A nice sort of thing about this technique is that really isn't any way to mess it up. You just kind of do whatever you like personally. My pretty boy. He's perfect.
Is he perfect?
He's perfect.
Can I ask you one question?
What?
Are you sure he's perfect?
Yeah, why? Oh, his head. Fred,
you know, I've been waiting for about 10 minutes to ask you that question. To ask you whether it was perfect or not. And I just couldn't resist.
he's perfect. I think.
You gonna give him another hug then? And Nutcracker gets hugs.
Yeah, because he's perfect.
Right, I hear you.
Shut up.
Making our Christmas memories. I've been working so much lately, I can barely find the time to sleep. Yeah, spend my time.
Still the first two?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Keeping people pleased, but this is
I think it's time for a new tube.
It's a chance to
Got like 1 2/3 of a Nutcracker done. There's not much left of him.
These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close, forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, oh, la 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 la, oh, oh, la 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 la, oh, oh, la 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 la, making our Christmas memories.
I absolutely love how these nutcrackers turned out. This is exactly the look I was trying to achieve for my vintage Christmas decor theme this year. So join me this Friday to see how I incorporate these pieces into my decor. Thanks for watching. Bye.
We'll be singing all the melodies until the sun comes up. These are the good times with